From LaCie Broadcasting in South Bend, Indiana, welcome to Live from Studio B. And now, let's welcome Phil Keaggy.
Hello. Peering through my mind's eye, looking to another time where time ceases to be. I cry, no one hears but you alone, listening to this monotone for the missing part of me. And I'm calling you in unspoken words, I'm calling you. I struggle for words, hear me whisper. Outside, a beggar's plight through window pane, no shelter from the pouring rain, to be there by your side. I try to do it on my own again, so I stand here alone again with nothing left to hide. And I'm calling you in unspoken words, I'm calling you, searching for words, I'm calling you in unspoken words, I'm calling you. Searching for words, hear me whisper as I breathe out your name. Break the chains free, kindle the flame, come and hold me. I'm calling you in unspoken words, I'm calling you. I struggle for words, I'm calling. You, I'm calling you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. Nice to be with you. You're making me very, very relaxed. You know, I came out here with 5 different song lists, and that song wasn't on any of them, actually. So, whoo! All right, hello everybody out there in TV land. I guess I'm supposed to say that, right? Okay. This next song is a song I wrote way back, you know, like 1985-ish. And it's called Salvation Army Band, and it's gone through many of its own various renditions, and this is a few of them. Gracious love, reaching out to take me as I am, expecting I will do the best I can. You cover me, clothed in your own righteousness I am. But you made me, the grace I have found favor in the land. Whoa, cover me, cover me. Made free to me, eternal life, a gift that has no end. Receiving, believing in the mercy you extend. You cover me, clothed in your own righteousness I stand. You made me a part of your salvation army band. Heart to God, hand to man, saved to serve, salvation army band. Whose eyes find rest in you, Dory, the glory of your presence within view. Cover me, clothed in your own righteousness I stand. You made me a part of your salvation army band. Cover me, cover me, cover me, yeah. Heart to God, salvation army band. Heart to God, hand the man, Thank you. Okay, time for an instrumental. This is a piece called Nellie's Tune. I wrote it in memory of my grandmother. And how do these things go on? I think it goes on this way. I guess it goes on this way. One does forget. I actually wrote the song in a little hotel room. Actually, it was a very big hotel room. It was a little hotel room with a very high roof, ceiling. And it was in Ireland. It's actually in Dublin. So this is called Nellie's Tune in honor of my Irish grandmother. To be sure, she was a good lady, you know. After all, this is South Bend, is it not? Thanks very much.
Now, let's go back to Live from Studio B with Phil Keaggy, brought to you in part by Anchor Communications.
Thanks very much, everyone. This is called Wildheart. Somewhere in that empty stare, there is a look of love. Behind that suit of angry armor, there's a gentle dove. Between the lies and alibis, there's an honesty that's warm and bold. Under that cold shoulder, there's a heart of gold. Where there's a life, there's a sacrifice. Where there's a rule broken, there's an innocent man who paid the price. Where there's a hell, there's a paradise waiting to break through. Wild heart, something's changing you. Oh, what love can do. Breaking hearts and jumping fences, it ain't nothing new. Now your world's in a million pieces, and the pain's been teaching you that throwing stones at burning bridges will never put out the flame. Oh no, no. Instead of taking what he's offering, you're taking the blame. Where there's a life, there's a sacrifice. Where there's a rule broken, there's an innocent man who paid the price. Where there's a hell, there's a paradise waiting to break through. Wild heart, something's changing you. Oh, what love can do. Deep inside, fragile fears remain unspoken and beckon your soul of fire. You can't hide your work until that seal is broken, and give it your heart's desire. Where there's a life, there's a sacrifice. Where there's a rule broken, there's an innocent man who paid the price. Where there's a hell, there's a paradise waiting to break through. Wild heart. Where there's a life, there's a sacrifice. Where there's a rule broken, there's an innocent man who paid the price. Where there's a hell, there's a paradise waiting to break through. Wild heart, something's changing you. Oh, what God can do. Thanks very much. All right, any requests? I ran out of a song. No, I didn't. What's that? Okay, yeah, thanks. That's a good idea. I wrote the lyrics of the song on an airplane, and, you know, when you're up there 30,000 feet, you know, you can picture all sorts of things. You know, oxygen deprivation takes place, and jet lag is setting in, and then all of a sudden you turn to the Spirit and you get inspired. So what in the world do I mean? All I know is that God is merciful, and as the Jesus prayer, it says, Lord Jesus Christ, Son of the living God, have mercy on me, a sinner. God is so good. He's good to us all. And someday we'll understand His goodness. For now, it's we walk by faith, not by sight. Find me in these fields alone, crusted with the salt of my ways. Rinse me with the motion of sweet water, the silky rush of your cleansing stream. I turn my face towards the sun to feel the heat and cool wind blow, reminding me as you touched my shoulder, awaking me from some selfish dream. I face the fog in the autumn, the midnight moon weaving her chain. You trace me deep in this valley, repeating a familiar refrain. Forgive me when my heart turned cold and I changed the old standard line. Forgive me when my conscience called me to leave it behind. Well, did I? Forgive me. Take me in, I'll sit at your feet, live to tell all you have done. Could I find a rose in mid-December, a sign of peace for those passing by? Turn my face towards the sun, and a vision of a world yet to be, when hope will be awarded living substance, when heaven kisses earth in reply. And I face the fog in the autumn, the midnight moon weaving her chain. You trace me deep in this valley, repeating this familiar refrain. Forgive me when my heart turned cold and I chased the old standard line. Forgive me when my conscience called me to leave it behind. Well, forgive me when my heart turned cold and I chased the old standard line. Forgive me when my conscience called me to heed the cries. Well, did I? Forgive me, forgive me. Fields alone, Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. Oh, 4 more minutes. Gee, my. Time does fly when you're trying to forget about the passage of time. Okay, 4 minutes to go. Here we go. And I think I'll do this tuning song of mine. Okay, this is called I Have Days Like You, and it's kind of a new song, so if I stop and redo the words, then I'll be running out of time. It's simple as that, isn't it? Okay. If I portray myself blessed with it, if I display myself trying to show I meet the approval of my kind, if I pretend to have all I need, it's never intentional. I should have mentioned I'm not always feeling just fine. I have days like you, stuck in a rut, feeling the blues, and I have days like you, just holding my ground. If I defend myself hastily, if I recommend myself, call for security, for the removal of my mind, there is a greater will to be done, in the name of the Father and of the Son, with all my intentions behind. I have days like you, stuck in the mud, feeling the blues, and I have days like you, just holding my ground. Life leaves us to choose, how will we finish, win or lose? Oh, I have days like you, these days just come around. This is an instrumental part. And I have days like you, stuck in a rut, feeling the blues, and I have days like you, just holding my ground. Life leaves us to choose, how will we finish, win or lose? Oh, I have days like you, and these days just come around. I have days like you, stuck in the mud, feeling the blues. Oh, I have days like you, these days just come around. And I have days like you, and these days just come around. Oh yeah. Oh, it's a strong thing, I'm strumming my guitar. Oh yeah, honey. That's right, strum along everybody. That's right. Thanks very much.
Live. And now, let's go back to Live from Studio B with Phil Keaggy. Brought to you in part by Anchor Communications.
Thanks very much. I'd like to do a song for you that's not very demanding vocally. It's called County Down. Kind of an Irish motif tonight. Thanks very much. That song's always fun to play, actually. This song is a fairly new song, and I really love the message of the song. It's about the Lord calling us home when that day does come. And but I've been informed that we have 5 minutes, and so I can't do it. So I guess I went too long on the last one. But what I'll do is this. I'll do a bit of that song. Anyway. Okay. It's called Quite Suddenly, and I'll do the last verse. That's the best one. That's the favorite verse of mine. I didn't write the verses. Quite night suddenly. It may be as I lie in dreamless sleep, God's gift to many a sorrowing heart with no more tears to weep, that a call shall wake my slumber and a voice sound in my ear. Rise up, my love, and come away. Behold, the bridegroom's here. Okay, we gotta go out like this. Just don't know where to begin. When ugly kings surrender to this world of sin, to walk the walk, talk the talk. The truth is, heaven on earth is one stairway that can't be bought. The price is paid. We believe our God reigns. True believers stand on every word you say. True believers made alive in Christ today. This is how we survive and where we mean to stay. True believers, 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 yeah, true believers, okay, true believers, stand on every word, stand on every word you say. Okay. Thanks very much. And now I lay me down to sleep. more time than I thought, sorry. John the Revelator, tell me who's that riding? John the Revelator, tell me who's that riding? John the Revelator wrote the book of the seven seals. You know Christ arose on Easter morning. Mary and Martha was down to see. Go tell my disciple to meet me in Galilee. Oh yeah. Now tell me who's that riding? John the Revelator. Tell me who's that riding? John the Revelator. Tell me who's that riding? John the Revelator wrote the book of the seven seals. Yeah. Wrote the book of the seven